Vi är tillbaka i Leksand efter en helg nere på västkusten och i Strömstad som innehöll 2 matcher i Strömstad Hockey Classic där både Färjestad och Frölunda tyvärr visade sig vara lite för tuffa uppgifter nu i början på säsongen i alla fall. Och vi sitter här med Justin Kloos. Justin, first of all, this is your 4th season here in Leksand. How would you describe your time here in Sweden so far?
It's been awesome. Good teams, good coaching, good people in the community, good people in the organization, and just overall I've been treated really well and I've had an awesome experience.
It's happened a lot of things both on and off the ice during these years, and if we start with the hockey, 3 seasons so far, you ended up playing 2 play-ins in the playoffs and 1 quarterfinals last season. The journey and the development during your years here, how would you describe that?
I think, you know, we've had some ups and downs. I think even those seasons when we were in play-ins, we were top teams at some point in the league. You know, whether it was in November, getting closer to playoffs, we were really hot. But it seemed like, especially the first 2 years, we had, you know, injury problems, and that kind of bit us again in playoffs. But I think we've been competitive. Feels like every year we're, you know, good enough to beat the good teams when we show up. And, you know, with this league, if you don't show up, you can lose to anyone.
And last season, that quarterfinal series with the atmosphere both in Gothenburg and here in Leksand, what do you say about it?
Yeah, it was electric. It was awesome. That was, you know, when you say playoff hockey and you talk about it with, you know, people, whether it be in the States or around the world, that was true playoff hockey. Everyone left it all out there, and it felt like a flip of a coin who won, and unfortunately they came out on top. You know, you look back at it and there's a few things that we would have wanted back. Maybe the first game at home that we lost and, you know, we felt like we should have won kind of thing. But that's how hockey works. You know, it's not going to be the team that has the most shots, the most puck possession, most chances every game. You would hope that, you know, it would average out over a season or over a series, but that's not always how it worked. I think, you know, they competed really hard, but I think, you know, in a different day and a different bounce, I think that goes our way.
The last season, overall, you were injured during the preseason, but ready to go in the regular season opener. But what happened there?
Yeah, that's not how you draw it up. It was really strange to show up. I didn't even know I was injured when I got here, really. It was like kind of you know, it's really kind of unexplainable how it happened. I can't pinpoint it. So, you know, I had a quick surgery to start preseason and then kind of hurried back for the first game of the year. You know, I felt okay legs-wise, but I wasn't able to play a preseason game, and you know, took a hard hit, fell into the boards awkwardly, and yeah, broke my wrist. So it was just, yeah, you couldn't really explain it. I've been fortunate for most of my career to not have, you know, broken bones and injuries like this, but I had 2 in, you know, 2.5 months. So that's how it goes. And you know, so I was out there 6 to 8 weeks, I think. And yeah, obviously you don't want to start a season like that because everyone's kind of in mid-season form once we get to, you know, November when I return. And I definitely was playing catch up.
How hard was it to handle that new injury for you?
Yeah, it was mentally, obviously, it was the worst part. When you're injured, you're a part of the team, but when you don't get to practice, you don't get to travel, you don't get to, you know, compete with the team, it's difficult because that's ultimately what, you know, we're, you know, expected to do, what we're paid to do is, you know, to help this team win hockey games, whether that, you know, if you're not in the lineup, you know, contributing in practice and competing, but when you're in the lineup, that's, you know, that's showtime, that's what you want to do, that's why we play the game. Or that's why we train all summer, all preseason. We do that to, you know, compete those 52 games, and to sit out basically the first third of the season was, you know, pretty disappointing and something I don't want to experience again.
But despite that injury, I guess last year was a positive year for you and your wife because you got your first child. How was that to be a father for the first time?
Yeah, it was incredible. All the cliches that are said when you know have a birth of a child, the new love, is something it all were true, and something certainly I'll remember forever. Our experience in Falun was outstanding. My wife and I are so grateful to be in a place like this where we felt safe and comfortable. You know, to have have a kid and have a birth here. And yeah, we're very fortunate to have a healthy little boy named Luca.
And how different would you say your life is now compared to before Luca arrived?
Yeah, it's certainly different, but I think another, like one of those cliches, you don't even really remember what it was like before. Now this is just our new normal. Obviously, you know, free time is at a much lower level than it used to be. There's more early wake-up calls. There's more, you know, getting up in the night because for whatever reason, you know, whether he's hungry or needs a diaper change or is just unhappy or misses mom or something. Yeah, life changed pretty quick, but like I said, it just becomes the new normal, and I got a really good partner to experience that with my wife.
And now you're waiting for number 2 also. How's that?
Yeah, we're really excited, but we know it will be, it's going to be, I don't want to say difficult, the word, it's just going to be a little more of a circus. Again, like free time and, you know, overall life outside of your kids a little bit will just, I think, dwindle for a bit, especially when they're younger and they're so, you know, so dependent on parental care. So, yeah, we're super excited. We feel so blessed to be, you know, in this situation. And yeah, we're really looking forward to the second one.
We get back to the hockey now, and last week in Strömstad, 2 games against Färjestad and Frölunda, ended up with 2 losses. What do you say about the 2 games down there?
Preseason hockey is always difficult. I thought the first game when we played Färjestad, it was kind of obvious which team had played a preseason game already. The first period they came out and they were pretty dominant for about the first 10, 15 minutes. And then from there on, it was a really even game. I think we even had maybe the better of them, but, you know, I think it's just hockey. You know, we missed a couple breakaways and they scored on a couple chances. And but yeah, I thought the team looked really good. I didn't play that first game, so I was able to spectate a little bit. And then the second game, it felt more even than it looked, I think, like as far as I think they were up 4-0 at one time, but they had one kind of crazy bounce in the corner, one go off our guy's foot and in and stuff. So we ended up losing that 5-3, but again, it felt like the game flow and gameplay was, you know, pretty even, and I think those are 2 teams that are always in it. So at this point, if we feel like we're kind of neck and neck with them, that's okay, I think. And now it's time to really push and you know, try to leap and take a step ahead of those teams, because I think like most season they're going to be 2 of the teams that are battling for a top 6 spot.
For you personally, I mean, you have played hockey for all of your life. These first games of a season, what's the biggest difficulties for you as a player to play them?
It's game pace is just different than what you can get in practice. It doesn't matter if we, you know, compete 100% in practice. Once you're in the arena, the lights are on, the crowd is in, and this is, you know, it matters now. This is what goes in the books for a game. Now you're, you know, fighting for your team's life to, you know, be a playoff team, and it's that pace. It's just a little bit higher. Like you can't translate it even from preseason to practice. It's the first game is a little more chaotic, and then, you know, that's where I think age and experience come into play a little bit. You've been through it before, but for sure, you know, guys who haven't played in the SHL or haven't played in a top league or haven't played in front of a big crowd, it's a little nerve-wracking, and you kind of gotta get your foot in the door, if you can say, and do it a couple times to really understand that it's just a little bit chaotic that first game, and then as the season goes on, those games just become the normal.
And it still remains 5 preseason games before the regular season starts. Your thoughts and feelings heading into this new season? Tell us about it.
Excitement. Obviously, we had a strong squad last year, and we were just hoping to kind of leapfrog and continue that. There will be some difficult times with any season where, you know, maybe we're not playing our best hockey or things happen, we get banged up, or, you know, we're just not getting the bounces. It's going to happen over this season. But I think we got a good group of guys that are level-headed and understand that we've been through it before, and we've been, you know, in a situation where we feel we're right there to be in the semifinals, competing to, you know, be in a championship series. So I think it's a confident group that's you know, eager to see how the start goes, and hopefully put ourselves in this similar position we did last year.